What is going on, my friends? That's right. This is borrowed right now, but I think today I'm gonna buy it. That's right. You know, I've been looking for a 335, and I think this might be the gal. Friends, welcome. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here. Welcome to the Guitar Show. That was a jam track that we recently dropped. Did we drop that one? Yeah, dropped that one. It's available right now. We have a jam tracks playlist, by the way. You can check that out. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to be with you an hour today, live. So you know that we've been doing these smaller broadcasts lately, and me and the crew have been talking, and we're like, we really miss taking your guys' questions. So this is, I think this is the current plan, is that we're going to continue to do the daily drops like we've been doing, jam tracks on the weekend, or tram jacks, whatever you prefer. So we're doing this every single day, but we're still missing the Q&As, which we don't get to on the others, right? So in lieu of us doing this 4 times a month, we're going to do it twice a month, so or every other week, let's say, and you're going to have content every single day, right? Yay. I've been looking at your comments, and basically, resoundingly, you guys are saying, hey, Eric, we really appreciate the shorter content. We can't sit there for an hour or two. We love you, but more concise. So I'm hearing you, but then I'm also seeing some comments of folks saying, but yeah, I want to ask you questions, and I want to do that and have you respond. So that's what we're doing here, okay? Friends, are you stuck on guitar? Question. Let me know in the chat, because I want to know. I know a lot of folks are, and I want to talk about 5 things today to help you to undo this, okay? To help you undo your stuckness, because it's a very real thing. I've gotten the question a bazillion times only a bazillion times since I've taught guitar. And so it's obviously very common. It's not you, it's the guitar. It's a thing that we've got to battle through sometimes, because it's a challenge, because we're always learning something new. And I'm going to be talking about 5 things today. I'm going to give them to you right now, and then we're going to get to some questions as well. Here are the 5 things. Now, this isn't going to help you, me telling you these things. What's going to help you is me describing them to you, which is going to take a few minutes, and then me giving you some solutions and some understanding of this. That's what's going to help. But here are the 5 things straight off the bat. Know your why. Why? Why know your why? That's what I should name it. Why know your why? We're talking about that. Hyperfocus, creative intentionality, or intentional creativity. Ooh. Right? Either way, slow it down, break it down, looping and chunking. That's 1. See what I did there? And then make it fun, okay? These are things that if you're stuck playing guitar, one of these, if not all of them, are absolutely going to help you. I'm going to try to run through this very quickly. It's probably going to take about 15 minutes. Are you down with that? And then I'm going to get to your questions. So then it'll feel like one of our typical broadcasts, okay? Some folks are asking about the 335. So this guitar played on the back line of the band Alabama quite a bit. And right now, Rob Wise asking why. Right now, it's owned by Woody, the guy who sold me my Gibson SJ200. And so he's selling this guy as well. And I'm getting ready to call him right after this broadcast and say, I'll take it. It has Shaw pickups in it, which that guy's known as the burst bucker king, if you will. They're known as like he's the pickup manufacturer that got, I guess, so close to the PAFs, the original 59, 58 PAFs, right? And so that's what that's about. It's a 1983. It's played a lot of shows. It's been on the road a lot. It's been in the studio a lot. I'm very excited because it's got all the mojo and everything that I wanted. I wanted a red one, but now the more that I think about it, this one is really, I'm really attracted to it. So I'm loving it. All right, so let's talk about these 5 things so that we can unstuck you and unstuck me, because everybody goes through it, okay? Here it goes. So right here, I can only practice so much and I get bored. This is one of the things. I tell you what, let's talk about it real quick. Tell me, just like My Knees Hurt said right here, I want to see what it is that you're stuck on. I'm going to read all these comments right now Or like, what is it, right? My knees hurt said, I can only practice so much and I get bored. That's stuck. That's considered stuck. I've had way too much free time on my hands and I'm just burnt out. Okay, I've never heard of way too much free time. I freaking love free time. I have very little free time. But let's talk about it. My knees hurt, I get it. You don't know what to do with that free time, so you're bored. We're gonna talk about that. Give me some others. What is it that you're stuck in? Specifically, it can be a mindset like I'm bored, or I don't know what to practice, or what I practice doesn't get me very excited, or everything I try is too hard. What are you stuck in? Let's talk about it so that I know where you guys are at today, and so I can address you specifically, okay? Ken is saying, just not motivated, no progress. Okay, I got the medicine for what ails you right there. Writing songs, never finished one. Okay, I can help you with that one as well, even though I have many unfinished songs, but there's reason for that. Hard to see my progress. Okay, like that. I mean, I don't, but I like what you're saying here. Caged, yep. I'll trade you my red epi, yep. Nope. I've practiced chords, but what's a good next thing to work on? I want to be able to write my own songs, unable to bring all I have learned to playing. Free time, what is that? Seems like I'm getting a little better, regress back, sounding more melodic, caged, okay. Transitioning to bar chords, time to practices, musicality. Okay, musicality, that's a good one, yep. Pinky shakes so much, I don't know how to proceed, all of the above. A plateau in the learning curve, how to improve guitar. I don't feel that I can retain what, like when I was younger. Yeah, could be. Exactly don't know what's my next move. That is so many people, I get it, we're gonna address that today. I'm doing the same phrasing, need to think differently. Yep, that's part of this. I need to jazz up my basic chords and I'm no good at strumming patterns. We can specifically make something fit with that. What I mean by that is, yes, but something added to this. I don't know what to practice. Yep, okay. I can't play guitar. Oh, but that's your name. I can't play guitar. And now you can too. I've seen your profile name before. It's freaking amazing. I can't play guitar, and now you can too. I've got several songs and skill exercises. I've gotten to the point that hours of practice are small gains. Oh hell, where did that go? Jeez, it just disappeared. Okay, lots of good stuff coming in, okay? Lots of good stuff. I can't even get to them all. Okay, but I'm looking and I see getting overwhelmed, motivation, stuck, home recording, practice, pick songs that are too advanced. Okay, got open chords down, we can't move ahead, learning chords, okay. All right, so I'm getting a good idea of what you guys are going through. And look, friends, you thought it was just you. It's not just you. It is everybody, okay? Everybody, including all your favorite guitar teachers and all your favorite players, okay? We're on a spectrum, and some know this stuff more than others, but there's still times when we get stuck, indeed, okay? So let's talk about it from the top, and then I'll get to questions, okay? First off, guys, if you have not already, please like this video. Take the moment right now. I'm talking about it, so you might as well, or you're checking off already because you don't like anybody saying please subscribe. Please like this, subscribe, hit the notification bell, say all videos, etc. You know the drill, okay? Also, first link below, hopefully the first link below will give you access to the Unstoppable Guitar System. If not, here's the link. It's www.yourguitarstage.com/UGS. Don't click on that because that's not going to do anything. But if there is a link below, click on it. I'll give you access to the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard today for free. You get the whole enchilada there, okay? Lastly, you can get in touch with me via text. I talk about it all the time. If you'd like to get in touch with me, there you go, 833-744-0154, or text me free at this number, and I will set you up with the course so you don't have to do it, okay? Otherwise, just type UGS to that number, and then we'll be buddies, okay? We'll text. We'll be text buddies, okay? Cool. All right, here we go. All right. Number one, know your why. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time with these, just drilling down very quickly. Know your why. This is very important. A lot of people, they start playing guitar. It's fun. They play, they noodle, and then you hit a certain place where you just stop growing because your why is not defined enough. All things in life, we need to know why it is we're doing certain things, why we're working at the job we're doing, why we're voting like we're voting, like why are we doing what we're doing. The world is filled with people who don't know even frickin' why they're doing what they're doing. They're just charged. So don't be that person. Let's change the world. Know why it is that you're doing what you're doing. We're talking about guitar. For me, so much of everything that I do anymore is for you. Literally, when I'm thinking about things, I'm constantly thinking about how can I serve my students? How can I create something that's going to help them more? Jam tracks that we're doing now, that's going to give them an opportunity to jam. If I'm going live every day, that's going to give them an opportunity to see and learn new things. I have a very specific why, and every single day, my why is very defined and I know what it is I'm going after. Maybe for you, it's not being a guitar teacher. Maybe you want to be a campfire guitar player. So learn a bunch of songs, learn your open chords, learn how to use your capo, etc., etc. Get a big repertoire and be able to sing those songs. We can't go down every single why today. That's not the point of this, because there's 10 million whys for all the people that are going to watch this or watching right now. You need to, number one, ask the question, why is it that you want to play guitar? Be very definitive as you can be. This is not, you're not going to fail at this. Do it to the best of your ability. It's better than you not doing anything at all, okay? Okay, well, Eric, I want to be the best at everything. Okay, then get working on everything. Eric, I want to get good at blues. Okay, follow blues guitar teachers, follow blues players, do what they do. It's as simple as that from a 30,000-foot view level. The minutiae you're going to have to take care of, because unless you're in UGS, I can assist with that. But you're going to have to pave a path for yourself. But following the people that are doing what it is that you want to do is the way to go. Following the gurus, the podcasts, the videos, the books, etc., etc. Don't read books on jazz if you're not interested in jazz. Focus on what it is that you want to do. Know your why. Follow your why. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that, unless you have questions. Hyperfocus. I do this all the time. What I will do is I'll put on a track like I did just now, and I will hyperfocus on that track for, say, an hour. Okay? There is lots of science out there. I freaking even hate using that word right now. People are abusing the word. But there's lots of science out there that shows that when you hyper-focus on a particular thing, going against your edge, meaning the thing that's hardest for you, pushing against that, that's where you see growth. In everything, not just guitar, in everything in your life. Whatever you want to get good at, nutrition, meditation, guitar, whatever, push against your edge. Where are you at today? I can do blank. Okay, do blank plus blank, and that will get you closer to it. You've got to push against that edge all the time. You will not be happy as a person if you're not growing. Case closed. If you're not happy, you're not growing. Got to grow. As a player, you've got to push against your edge. Hyperfocus allows you to do that. I will put on a jam track for an hour and I'll sit there and noodle with it. Because if I'm practicing a minute of scales and a minute of chords and a minute of cage and a minute of this and a minute of that and 15 minutes of that, if I'm practicing for hours a day, yes, that's great. Because now you're focusing on one area, you kind of wear it out, and then you look at something else. If you're doing this, practicing for hours a day, you can hyper-focus on a particular thing. I wouldn't do it for more than about an hour, because they've shown that after an hour, your brain needs a shift. You need to get up, you need to change your scenery, whatever. Hyper-focus. If you're practicing a scale, practice it for an hour. Don't practice it for 3, 5, 10, 20 minutes and be like, I can't get it. I've practiced it as much as I can. 20 minutes is all you can? Your life is 20 minutes long? No, of course not. I know, I'm getting salty, friends, but you got to hear it. I got to beat you down a little bit in a good way. Love, right? So hyper-focus. Start hyper-focusing on stuff. Stop being scattered. You know your why, then you focus on your why, and you drill down and you do that particular thing to where it's challenging for you. If it's not challenging, you ain't growing. If you're not messing up, you're not growing. You're not stretching. You're doing what you know all the time, okay? Hyper-focus. Creative intentionality or intentional creativity. I don't care what you call it. But essentially what we're doing is, it's a little bit like hyper-focus, but what I will do is this, is I will say, I will ask, what if And I'll say, what if, like I'm getting ready to drop a bomb on you guys here with a new discovery that I found on guitar. I do this all the time. I say, what if, and I mess with the guitar enough, and I say, is anybody teaching this? No one's teaching this? Why isn't anybody teaching this? This is amazing. And then I will create a video on that. L7, right? Major minor 69er. Lots of little things that I talk about that I have videos for. Can't talk about them right now. Yeah. But basically what I'll do is I'll say, okay, how can I hack this guitar and make this easier for my students? And I'll say, okay, now, I did this with sister chords, right? What I call, what some people, it's not even sister chords. Wherever there's a major chord, there's a minor chord 3 half steps behind it. I'm not going to go into that video, but I have a whole thing on this. The 1 chord, go 3 steps behind it, there's a minor chord. 4 chord is major, go 3 half steps behind it, it's the 2 minor. Major 5, go 3 half steps behind it, it's a minor. It's a minor chord, right? And so, and vice versa. You find those minor chords, you go up 3 half, you find a major chord. Why is that amazing? Because if you're sitting here and you're soloing like I was just now with that track, right? I've got this minor chord here, then I also know that there's a major chord right there, and all these other notes are gonna automatically appear right there on the fretboard. And I can literally cookie cutter that for the other chords as well. I'm getting ready to drop a bomb on you guys regarding that. But, you know, I wouldn't have come up with that if I hadn't said, there's something here, I'm going to be intentionally creative, and I'm going to find out what it is that I'm looking for here. Maybe not the best example in the world. Let me give you another one here. In my early morning sessions, I will have a time where I will literally just go, this time is dedicated to being as freaky creative as possible. And what I mean by freaky creative as possible, I mean like, if I say I want to design a guitar, which I obviously am in the works of right now, and have been for quite some time, I will say, what is everything that I want? What is my absolute dream guitar? What is everything about it? I don't care if no money that can hold it back. What is the ultimate guitar? What does that look like? I Disney dream, and I don't even like to use the word Disney right now because for reasons. But the folks, the Imagineers, they think so creative, right? They think so creative, outside the box. And you allow yourself an opportunity to just absolutely, in your mind's eye, be able to think about whatever it is that you want to do, and then it expands your consciousness. So if you say, whatever, you look at the best of the best guitar players, you're watching Stevie Ray Vaughan, you're watching all this, and you're literally indoctrinating yourself, brainwashing yourself to see this is potential, this is potential, this is potential, this is potential. You do that enough, your mind will expand. If you surround yourself with completely bad players, I was going to cuss there, completely bad players, mediocre players and what have you, what's your level going to be? Those are your influences. Understand? And this is everything in life. Surround yourself with people way bigger than you who can help you. Smarter people, all. And when you sit down and you take this moment to be creative, you're doing this with intentionality, and it's a very specific thing that you're going after. I'm going to understand this cage system. I'm going to do it right now. It's with intention. You're not going to stop until it's done. A little bit of hyperfocus put in there, but there's an intentionality to it. You're not just like, I'm going to jam a little bit. Nothing wrong with jamming a little bit, by the way. But what I'm saying is if you're doing that all the time, then you're just going to always be jamming a little bit. You're never going to get to the next level until you push yourself, okay? Creative intentionality. Slow it down. This is number 4. Slow it down. Break it down. Loop. Chunk. Inventory breakdown method. I fit 5 in there, by the way. Juggling unicyclists on a tightrope. All these bits that you've heard me talk about before, right? Slow it down, break it down. So somebody said, I picked stuff that's too hard for me. The very first classical piece that I ever picked up was Bourrée. I should have never picked up that piece. I should have started with other pieces that would be way easier. Because why? Because chances are I'm going to judge myself like you judge yourself, all sorts of folklore and myths in your head and bull crap on the internet telling you that if you're not born this way or born that way, you're never going to get good at guitar. Lies and weak people, weak teachers and what have you, that just don't know how to teach, so they bail out and they say, oh, you apparently weren't born with this. Loser, okay? Sorry, calling it out. But if you take a song like Boré, like I did, and I slowed it way down and I broke it way down and I looped a particular section over and over and over again, and I took chunks of this thing and did it like that. Take a song that's super hard for you. Take a mountain that's super difficult to scale. It's one step at a time. If you look at the whole thing, this is all psychology, by the way, friends. If you look at the whole thing, you go, there's no way. Okay, cool. You just spoke into being your destiny, which is bam. But if you say, well, I don't know, I can walk one step and then another and then another, and eventually it leads you to the top of this peak, right? You can do this with any song. All the guitar players that I have on this show that are badass, all the guitar players that you watch that are badass, they know this, okay? It's not like some secret, but it's not like people are holding it back. It's just some people get it and some people don't. I'm trying to get it out to as many people as possible for you to realize that you are, I want to cuss so bad, that you are absolutely an unlimited being. You can do anything on this guitar. If you have a doubt in your mind, it's a friggin' lie, and you need to get past that brainwashing. You need to understand that it's just a matter of slowing things down a bit, breaking things down a bit so that you can go, hey, wait a minute, that was it. Okay, it was slow, but that was it. And then over time, as you practice it more, it will happen. Dear God, the amount of times that people have said, now if I practice this, am I going to get better? And right now, there are people at home, right now, you guys, there's some people who are literally saying, well, is that true? If I practice this, will I get better? Friends, you're not a robot. You're not a rock. You literally are a growing, evolving being. So anything that you lean into, you're going to get better at. You can get better at bad habits. You can get better at good habits. Whatever you lean into, you're going to gravitate more to. All right. When I grew up in the church. Right. I grew up Christian, and they would always say, "If you resist the devil, he'll flee from you." Here's my interpretation of that. My interpretation is this: whatever you lean into, it will lean into you. So if you resist the devil, he'll resist from you, whether that's alcohol or the devil or whatever it is you're trying to get away from. If you take a step back, he's required to take a step back. Analogy, or whatever. Take it however you want to take it. It works. Like bonkers. Okay. This is why the alcoholic who's further away from the alcohol, it becomes easier and easier because he's doing the steps, she's doing the steps. Vice versa, same thing. The closer you get to something. So lean into those good habits, right? You can slow this stuff down, you can break this stuff down, looping and chunking. I have videos for all this stuff, obviously in UGS, some of the stuff for free here on YouTube. I promise I'm gonna end this last one here, we're gonna make it quick. Make it fun. Friends, you play guitar, you don't work guitar, you play guitar. It's fun, it should be fun. If it's not fun, you're doing something not optimal. I'm not going to say you're doing it wrong because it's art. Art's subjective. It means you can do whatever you want to do. But make it fun. How do you make it fun? Well, you could play all sorts of little games doing this. I make it fun because I make it quantifiable. So someone was saying, I can't see my progress. Okay, number one, are you in some sort of program? Are you doing some sort of step-by-step? I don't care if it's mine or somebody else's. You got to be doing anything step-by-step. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you. BTS Mitchell, appreciate that, very kind. You've got to make things fun in life. And I have found that in every moment in life, like Lincoln said, you can choose to be happy or you can choose to not be happy. People think that somehow the elite or the whatever has this rule over you that you can't be happy. It is totally up to you. You can have cancer and be happy. You can have a loved one die and be happy. I know this is treading on some toes and I'm pushing the envelope here, but you got to understand that there is an amount. Look at the world right now. There are some people that are more happy now than they were in February. I'm one, by the way, because I see massive hope. I see the world changing in a massive, amazing way. there's lots of people who don't see it that way, and that makes me feel bad for them. I know they want me to feel bad because that's going to make them feel more comfortable, but I ain't doing it. I ain't having that. I don't play that game. So, nonetheless, you got to make everything in life fun. Working out, you can make it fun. Playing guitar, make it fun. I make it fun because I can make it quantifiable, so I can see my progress. As somebody said here, I can't quantify my progress. Okay, you got to be in something step by step. If you're not in something step by step, then you need to do the work and make it step by step so that you can quantify it. And that's hard. So if you need help with that, find a good instructor, a good mentor who can guide you, not just in guitar, in anything that you're looking for. There's a gazillion amazing mentors out there today and coaches that will help you with anything that it is that you want to do. Okay, cool? All right, so make it fun. Think about a kid. When I watch my kid play, he's in a different realm, man. He's just totally in a different realm, which they've shown that waves-wise, I think they're in the alpha state. Alpha? No, not alpha, gamma. I don't know. There's several states where our brain is in, right? When we're sleeping, when we're meditating, when we're angry, when we're in the zone, our brain vibrates, or the waves. They can measure all this. This is science. All right. Thank you, Richard. I have cancer. I'm happy. I had cancer. And I'm happy. I was super happy when I had cancer, and then it was removed. And then they didn't get it all, and then they removed some more. I was happy the whole time. Wasn't even worried. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that I might not die of cancer, but I chose to be happy. And friends, I'm telling you, if it sounds foreign to you, it's freaking available to you. It is available to you. Make life fun. Make playing guitar fun. You can do this, but you either need a good guide, and I highly suggest having a good coach or a good guide if you're having an issue doing this yourself. Otherwise, you're on your own, and you can totally do it on your own, by the way. I've said it a million times. You don't need guitar lessons. You don't need a guitar teacher. You don't need books. You don't need YouTube videos. You don't need anything. How did Robert Johnson learn how to play guitar? He didn't have any of that stuff, right? One of the greatest blues players of our times, right? Of way back when. He was one of the godfathers. So, nonetheless, it's all available to you, and so many amazing things are available to you to make it fun now. You've got to choose your path, but first it starts with the mental part, the spirit part. It starts with psychology, okay? All right, let's get into some questions, friends. Your reality is what you make it. C-Man knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you see this message start appearing, friends, your reality is what you make it. I know it sounds out there in the stars, friends. You're going to start seeing this more. And when you do, I want you to be reminded of me telling you this right now. That is literally the world, the universe, people talking to you. If you're not on board with this, your reality is what you make it. The people know this. The people that know it, and the people that don't, but you can know it. There's power in positive thinking. The mind-body connection is real. It's so freaking real, it's just not even funny. It's ridiculous that anybody would think otherwise, but I get it. You can't see it. You can't hold it in your hand. Oh, I can't hold it, so it's not real. Really? Electricity is not real? Stick your finger in a socket and you tell me if it's not real. Jump off a cliff and you tell me if gravity's not real. Tell me if air's not real. I don't see music either, okay? So many things we don't see, we surely believe in them. Stop with this freaking nonsense of not believing in something you don't see. Dear Jesus in heaven. I'm done preaching. Let's get to some questions, okay? Yes. Am I preaching too much, Mike?
I don't know, are you?
Am I getting salty? All right, questions. Hit me up. What about those 5 things? Let's talk about some specifics that you guys are going through right now. Okay? So let's talk about specifics. Let's talk about applying these things to what it is you're going through right now. Okay? In the meanwhile, I'm looking at this baby. It's a 1983. I'm loving this one, man. I got it yesterday, or I got it Sunday, and I brought it to the office yesterday. It's got a little buckle rash. It's checking, right? Where it's cracking a little bit and stuff, and I'm just love it. How to be confident. Okay, how to be confident. Obviously, playing more it's a very real thing. There's a psychological part of it, and then there's a real part of it, or I say real, they're both real, but there's a physical part of it. We live in a 3D world, but it's other Ds as well. We have to live, most people just live in the 3D part, right? Where okay, so let's just talk about that for those folks that are just in the 3D part. Practice more. Practice more. If you practice 1 hour for a gig or you practice 20 hours for a gig, which guy's gonna do better, right? That's the guy who did 20 hours. So practicing more is gonna make you more confident. If you can do something in your sleep with your eyes closed, you're gonna be more confident automatically. You may have a real reality, right? There's a reason for fear. Now, there's lots of fake fear, but there's a reason for, oh, there's a bear chasing me, I need to run. Here I go. Whoever talks about me talking about the bear all the time. You're running, you're fearful of the bear, you're running because that's there to protect you. It's, you know, call it what you want. It's built into us to do this, to run away from the bear. So there's reason for that, right? You may be fearing a show coming up because you didn't get your practice in and you can hear yourself and you're sucking. Well, unless you're going to bend the space-time continuum, which I believe can probably be possible, but I don't know if it's been done yet. So, but in the meanwhile, while we're waiting to do that, you're sucking for your gig, you probably should feel less, not very confident. But even there, it would be best if you could psych yourself up psychologically to get on stage and at least do your best even with your lack of practice, okay? But there's a psychological part of it too. And dear God, I couldn't even scratch the surface of that one. Find some people who literally can guide you there. Tony Robbins is one of them. Okay, Robert Johnson took lessons from Ike Zimmerman. Okay, very nice. Thank you, one more Brando. But technically he didn't need to, but he found somebody, right? He found a dude. Okay? I don't know who Ike Zimmerman is. I probably should, but I don't know who that is. But nonetheless, if he didn't have somebody, he could listen and mimic. That's what I did as a kid, and then I started taking lessons, you know. I've learned the 9 essential chords and getting better at transitions. What should I do next? LG. Listen, anybody who has not already, if they're not on sort of a step-by-step program, at least take advantage of my program, which I'm giving to you for free, UGS Standard, first link below, or yourguitarstage.com/UGS. That's what you should be doing next. Do those in order. After you get to the end of those, then you're welcome to join UGS or find some other path for you. I've got a path, but find another path. Find a path that works for you. Okay, should I start working on whole songs? Max, here's what I say about that. Don't fear, if you really want to learn a section, don't fear learning a section because you think it's too hard. But if you don't like a section, don't be masochistic to yourself. Don't learn the part. If you don't like it and it's dreadful and it's hard, like there are solos by Angus Young that I love, and there are solos that I think suck. Sorry, Angus. I think you're an amazing player, but there's some solos I just don't get. I'm just like, never caught me. I've heard it 1,000 times, never thought it was a good solo. I'm not going to learn it. I'm not going to waste my time learning something that I don't like. So I would suggest doing the same. There's enough material out there that you shouldn't waste your time with things that you don't like learning. So learn the whole song if you like it, but if you don't, don't. How can I fall asleep and never wake up? I don't think you want to do that. Well, I don't know, maybe. Isn't that death? Well, I don't know. Probably not. We're probably going someplace else. I'm pretty sure of that. Everything I play sounds pretty much the same. I am unsuccessful in playing brightly or with intonation. Sue. Okay, lots of things there. Number one, intonation. Your guitar needs to be intonated, right? If you've got a car with bad spark plugs, it's going to skip. It's not you, it's the car. So make sure your guitar is intonated correctly. Go see somebody who does that. A guitar luthier, a guitar repair person. Go do that. If you're playing out of intonation, you're probably bending or pressing the strings too hard. There are videos on that, lots of videos on YouTube about that. Get lighter with your playing, okay? But I'm not sure that's what you mean by intonation. You probably mean playing the wrong notes. But if you mean intonation, I'm going to address it specifically the way you said it. In playing brightly, I don't know what that means. You can brighten things up. This pickup, brighten that tone knob, play closer to the bridge. Right? We can get real bright, we can get real dark. So I'm not sure what you mean by bright specifically. That's what I'm interpreting that as. Okay, and you pretty much play the same thing. Here's how to fix that, friends. Hyperfocus on not the things that you play all the time. You're not a robot. You're not programmed. I mean, yes, you're programmed. We've all been programmed. It's happening right now when you watch the news or anymore when we think we're getting on the internet and we're finding information with Google and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. But they're taking people down left and right? The information's not out there anymore. So even that, now you're going to find stuff on guitar, but this other stuff you're not. Got to go underground, folks. You're hearing it. It's true. Got to go underground. There are places you can go to get this information, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about guitar. Everything I play pretty much sounds the same. So here's the deal. You're not programmed, or at least I should say, you can unprogram yourself. And the way you do that is you don't do the same thing you've always done. You change things up. We're in a time of change. We're in a time of flux right now, friends. It's a great time to change things up entirely and figure out maybe there is a better way. Right? With your own playing. If you're doing the same thing all the time, don't do the same thing all the time. But Eric, I do. Really? Are you a puppet? Is someone controlling you? Don't friggin' do it. You go to play that lick, don't play that lick. Leave a big old empty space. Because when there's space, we can put something in there. But if you're playing over that thing with the same old thing that you do, there's no space. Got to create space. It's got to be uncomfortable so you can fill that up. Okay? Dear God, that one's a deep well. I could go a long ways with that one. But space is a good thing. Don't play the same thing. Find some new vocabulary. Find some new players. Learn some songs. Learn some new licks. Someone's saying they're having a problem with the chords buzzing and stuff like that. That's simple. UGS standard, first link below. You've got to learn the basics, right? It's not like I'm going to show you something in 10 seconds and you're going to get it. You're going to have to go through about an hour, at least, of understanding those concepts. That's in the free course, okay? Dragon on fire. It's true. Times are changing. Alligator. Yep. Yes. All right, I'm going up here a little bit. Is it true Led Zeppelin had a hidden message masked in Stairway to Heaven? I don't think so. I mean, I've heard it. I've heard what they say it is, but here's the deal with conspiracy theories. I entertain them all, and I believe some of them. I entertain them all, and I believe some of them. If that just triggered you, that means they got you, because that means you don't consider any other possibilities, because it's safe in your little box. Ooh, I can feel people dropping off right now. This is a guitar lesson. But I'm very serious about that. And it's in everything, friends. It's in everything. It's in your own playing. If you're doing the same damn thing all the time, that's who you're going to be for the rest of your life. And you can break out of that by thinking differently. With the guitar or anything. I don't play guitar for 5 months and I feel like I don't have any songs to learn. What should I do? Well, there are 10 billion songs out there, so you're okay. Go look for some songs. You got to give me a better question because I don't think that that's probably what you meant. Exactly. What is death outside of our corporal existence? Yeah. All right. How can I explore the whole fretboard in a song? You need to understand scalar relationship, right? You need to understand basic scales and how they go across the fretboard. Stick with me. I'll show you how to do that. Start in UGS standard. I give it to you for free. I start revealing all of that stuff for you. If you never want to pay for a lesson, I've got 1,400 videos on YouTube that I will guide you through this. Otherwise, I'll guide you step by step in UGS Pro. That's how you do it. I know some folks that ask these questions, they're looking for me to give them a 30-second answer, and then they're just going to get it. It's just obviously not that easy, right? It's easy. It's not hard. It just takes more time, I should say. I'm trying to play Wonderwall, but can't play chords with 4 fingers. Either the ring finger or the pinky finger giving a buzzing sound. What to do? Everybody's pinky and ring finger are weaker than first and second because they're not as close to the thumb. And just our ancestors, however you want to look about it, however you want to consider this, our ancestors and their ancestors and their ancestors, you pick something up like this, you don't pick it up like this, right? You don't pick it up like that, you pick it up like that. So it's hardwired that these guys are gonna work better. So these guys don't. You have to practice to get there. How do I get better at phrasing? Peppo, learn the scale, watch my series on call and response, watch my series on minimalistic blues. These are things you're searching for on YouTube, by the way. Search minimalistic blues. That's how you get better at phrasing. You slow things down, you take a breath, you think about what it is that you're gonna do, and then you play. You don't just you play something, you rest, you say something. It's just like regular life, right? There's cadence. Is there exercises to strengthen your hand besides practice? I mean, yeah, you can squeeze like putty or something like that, but it's just gonna strengthen your hand. It's not gonna get your fine motor skills working, okay? Yeah, when I solo over jam tracks, they keep sounding the same as I keep falling into the same riffs and phrasing. How do I get more creative? Ken, many ways you can do it. The way to start is to not play what you've always played. Lee, thank you so much for the donation. I so appreciate that, my friend. You don't play what you've always played. So now you got to think of something else. Watch some videos, learn some new things. Not too much is going to come to you. I hear it said best from all sorts of folks in the creative field. Writers, actors, everything else. What comes out is what came in. And if you don't have a lot coming in, what do you have to give? It's the same thing in the world when it comes to money. If you're sitting there complaining about wanting to help the world, well, go out and make some money so that you can help the world with money. If it's time, then get yourself some time that you can help the world. But the only way that you can do it, there's this conduit. You're a conduit. It has to go through you. So you've got to be able to do that. Why am I talking about that? How did I get off on that? I don't even know what the original question was. Happens sometimes, sorry. I'm dropping nuggets, friends. How much is UGS Pro? We have several different ways, several different packages. So it just depends on what you want, monthly, yearly, quarterly, whatever. Hit that link below and it'll show you exactly all the different bits. I don't want to do an advertisement here, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you, friend. Oh, I get in a rut, I buy a new guitar. I've been in a rut in 5 years. My wife says, no more ruts. Dude, I got this guitar. It pulled me out of a rut. Not a rut, but like immediately I started playing things differently. I act different on this guitar, right? It's like wearing different clothes. If you're in a suit, you're gonna act differently than if you're in gym wear, right? You're gonna act differently than if you're in a bathing suit and flip-flops. Flip-flops, okay? Yeah, 100%. New equipment, that's inspiring. A new teacher, a new video, a new trick. That's why I'm always giving you guys tricks, like things, you know what I mean? Bits to sink your teeth into. Beginners think strum, fingers, timing. When do you not think so much and play? High test, great question, by the way. It happens over time, right? When you were a child and you were learning how to walk at first, you were like all senses were keeping an eye on not falling. But now you walk around fine. Same thing when you first rode a bike, when you first drove a car, all sorts of things like this, right? And over time, it happens gradually, That being said, I don't know of any guitar player who isn't thinking something. They're thinking chord shapes, they're thinking scales, they're thinking tonic, they're thinking chasing the chord. So you're thinking about these things, but it seems you're not seeing inside the player's mind, so you think they're just like possessed and they're just, I'm just playing. It doesn't work like that. We're thinking. Everybody's thinking, okay? It's just that as you do it enough times, you don't have to think as much. A NASCAR driver is going to be a lot better at NASCAR than you and I because they've done it so much. What we don't do a lot is difficult. What we do a lot is easy. A couple donations just coming in. Gene, thank you, buddy. Sometimes I need salty. I know, and that's what I'm here for, brother. Thank you, friend. Beautiful. UGS lifetime member and get stuck sometimes, usually when work gets in the way. Best progress I've made was in the 30-day challenge. Beautiful. I was motivated and had the time to practice every day, for which I thank you and the team. Thank you so much. Hey, I want to ask you something. Thank you for saying that, John. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm not. I'm not promising anything. I'm not promising anything. But I'm getting a lot of response about the 30-day challenge. People said that was just on all levels for guitar, for what's happening in the world, and everything else was a life changer for me. Hearing that a lot. Don't just say it to say it, because you're not gonna make me feel better or something like that for this. But if you want me to do that again, then say 30-day challenge, or say 30-day smiley face, or yeah, I don't know. Say 30 day. Say 30 day. If you want me to do that again, because I was actually going to discuss that with my crew, if that's something I should be doing coming up here again, because I feel like people who don't know that there's a happy, that we're going into a happy direction here. It's just kind of weird right now in regards to the world. I want them to also know that while we're learning guitar, I want to give them hope, because there's a ton of it if you don't know. So let me know if you're interested in that. Don't do it to appease me. I'm very serious about it. If you want it, then let me know. Okay. Okay, John, Jeff, thank you, brother. Thank you, Jeff Largent. $20 donation. That's super duper kind, man. I really, really appreciate that. Beautiful. Okay. A lot of folks saying 30 day. Okay. All right. I might do it then. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey.
Talk about it live.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It's a big commitment, man. It's a big commitment. Ugh. But it's good. I love it at the same time. I guess it's a big commitment, like having a kid or a dog or something like that. But it's beautiful, right? Why do we do it? Why do we have kids? Yeah, because it's aggravating. No, because it's beautiful, right? Okay. All right. We'll talk. Beautiful. I've been playing guitar for a while, and I want to just start getting into playing lead, but I don't know where to start. Scales or just learning songs. Malachi, there's many things. Learn scales, learn how to phrase, follow some people, man. I'm dropping stuff on the reg on doing this stuff. So there's plenty of people, right? So you need to start following stuff of folks that are teaching this stuff. Learn some scales, learn how to use the pentatonic scale. Watch my video on the pentatonic scales. Call and response, watch those videos. Minimalistic blues, when I tell you these things, you should be writing them down voraciously, and then you need to go and watch those videos, because it's a journey. This is a journey, right? There's no way this stuff can be taught in a second or so. So yeah, you got to know scales. When I'm playing scales, but I'm also thinking, okay, well this chord shape is there, right? So I won't get into it right now, but if this chord shape is here, my chord is like this. Following the chord, right? So that's something else lead guitar players think about, is they think about what's the chord happening right now, and can I extrapolate some of that? It's like if we're having a conversation, it's no different than this, friends. Listen, you get this concept, you're going to understand the concept of chasing the chord and the color tones and all that stuff. If we're having a conversation and we're talking about alligators, and then all of a sudden I start talking about iguanas, which is another close relative, right? Then we might start talking about, we pivot. We do this in conversation all the time. And musicians do this when they're listening to what's going on. The tempo, the feel, the key, the vibe, all that stuff, okay? So you're listening. It's a conversation, okay? Mario, thank you, my friend, for the donation. So sweet. Live Alive 42, I'd pay money for another 30 day. Okay, I'm hearing you, folks. Thank you so much, Live Alive. Really appreciate that. Yes, Brian, this is nice too. Keep in mind that your brain learns faster than your fingers. Don't get frustrated. Yes, 100%. And I say this all the time. Like, your fingers may not be doing what it is that you want to do, but if you understand and you learn what to play by learning music, understanding how things correlate, then it's less about like, well, I got to play a million notes that sound like crap, and it's more like, I just need to play a few notes that sound good. Have you ever heard an eloquent speaker where they say just the right things? Maybe they only say a few words, but the things they say, you're like, right? And you hear those people that talk incessantly and they don't ever say anything, right? There's both in the world. So, and there's a spectrum in between. So, you know, as you learn about things, as you learn what to play, that's the stuff without your fingers. You get your fingers going and doing stuff and what have you, but knowing what to play and understanding that stuff will literally can change you immediately. The stuff in your brain is immediate. The finger stuff, that takes a little while, right? Okay, Fabio, thank you. I've played for 30 years. I can play solos up and down the fretboard, but I don't know what it's called. I honestly forgot the names of the strings sometimes. It don't matter, because you're playing music, Brando. I love it. It don't matter. Here's the deal. If there's not a problem, there's not a problem. If you're like, I just play and I'm doing fine. Good. Do more of that, and especially if you're happy. Don't try to fix what's not broken. You're probably doing all the things that you need to do, especially if you're happy while you're playing, okay? Triads. Triads are a good thing to learn. Know that your chords, you go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. And then you can learn your triads going up. Out, up, chip. Okay? I should have said. Okay, makes sense. So learn your triads. I teach that extensively in UGS Pro on all 6 strings. So we do 1, 2, 3. We do 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, etc. And then I flip them. So it's like the intervals are 1, 3, 5, and then I go 5, 3, 1, and 3, 5, 1, and just all the different variations of that, so that you've got just complete dominance over your fretboard, and you're not like, I don't know what that is. So I use this all the time. When I was playing just now, I'm thinking chord shapes. I'm thinking about the chords in my mind as I'm doing that. Okay, but the triads, I'm thinking about that, and you only learn that by doing it. It's not magic. It's just you learn it and then you get good at it. That's all it is. Is the circle of fifths important? Yeah, it is. It's super important. You can go your whole life and not know it and do fine, but it's helpful in that you can. Well, I have a video. No, I don't. It's on the list. It's on the list. Yeah, I have a whole series for it inside of UGS Pro, but I'm going to be dropping a video on the importance of the circle of fifths, why it's great. So it's good for things like understanding what your 1, 4, 5 chords are, understanding what chords it's easiest to transpose to, like for instance the key of G and the key of C and the key of F are very close, right? So if you wanted to transpose, or if you wanted to borrow chords, it lets you know what the major chords are, what the minor chords are, lets you know key signatures, lets you know what keys are the ones that don't play well together in regards to transitions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I love it. Indonesia is watching. Thank you, JJ. Do tabs slow progress learning chords and theory? No, not at all. Do tabs. Learn tabs. Learn how to play to tabs. I use them all the time, and I use other things all the time too. So just it's another tool. That's all it is, you know. For sure, man. Okay. Can he see our questions in this chat? I can, Chris. I can. That is so kind. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, Mike Rooney. Mike Rooney is one of our long timers, man, in UGS. Circle of fifths is like the cliff notes of music theory. Beautiful. Perfectly said. Yeah. I dig it. All right. Good stuff. All right. I'm going to scroll up quite. Hey, Mike, let me know if there's any others on the others, you know?
There's a lot of 30-day challenge in the others.
Okay, I see that. Oh, thank you so much. I'm just looking at when I was preaching, and I got some real kind folks, the folks that didn't get scared and unsubscribe and all that. You're killing it. Wow, preaching is good. Okay, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Good. Well, I'll keep preaching it even if I turn people off. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna stay away from truth. I'll die with a bullet in my chest before that happens. I'm gonna speak the truth. Who's talking about dying? You weirdo. Teach the guitar. Did I say that out loud? He who fears being conquered is sure of defeat. Mm-hmm. Classical and bluegrass. Too much? Marsha's asking. I don't know how much time you're spending, but those are two very specific genres. Two very specific genres that that require. I mean, classical for sure. Bluegrass, it's its own thing too. Classical requires lots of attention. It's not. To me, classical is something that you really have to focus on. If you're spending enough time, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do it, you know. How do I get better at phrasing? Okay, and we talked about that. Okay, awesome. All right, scrolling down to the bottom.
About there.
Yeah, we're about there. I've been doing a lot of theory, but I just don't have any musical ideas other than some lyrics. What should I do? I would study other people's songs. So if you start studying enough songs, you'll start seeing patterns, right? You start going, oh, okay, well, this is how to get that sound. If you're not studying other people's songs, like how would you even know what's going on, right? If you were a skateboarder and you wanted to learn the tricks, which is what you're asking here, you wanted to learn the musical ideas, you want to know the tricks, you're going to watch your buddy, and he's going to teach you how to do a specific something. He's going to go, no, you do your foot this way, and you whip this foot over here, and then you land on the board. And you're like, oh. But if you don't study it, it ain't going to come and bite you in the A, right? It's not going to come get you. You gotta study. You got to go after it. Be aggressive, right? Can you cover a couple basic strumming patterns to practice? Zach, I won't, only because I'm giving you everything today. The first link below. Is it in there, Mike? In the first link below? YourGuitarSage.com/UGS, right? It's right here. You could just type it in too. But, or
It's down there.
it's down there. Okay. Yeah. So go there. There's a whole strumming section there where I go through 5 levels of it. You have the PDF and all the rest, okay? Sudeep, you're so welcome, friend. You are so welcome. You're so effing welcome. Yeah, you're right, Lewis. You are correct, sir. Thank you, LTB. Yeah, and I'm going to preach one more time before we go, so, because we're getting ready to go. I want to skateboard so badly. You can do it. I do. I love it. Sitting on the fence is a dangerous course. You could even catch a bullet from the peacekeeping force. Mark Knopfler. Whoa! Mark dropping some bombs, right? Should I learn music theory? Music theory is a thing that you learn as you're going along. You know what I mean? It's just like, I want to weightlift. Should I learn the proper way to weightlift? I don't know. I wonder whether that would help. Yes, it would help. I want to eat right. I wonder if studying what to eat would help me. I'm not making fun of you, my friend. It's a common question. Yes, indeed. Learn some music theory, but learn it when you need it, right? My Mandarin sucks. I say it all the time because I don't live in China. I don't live there, right? So I'm not gonna. Why would I learn a language that I'm not gonna use? I'm gonna forget it, right? So learn it as you're going along, which is the way that I teach it. Cool. Yeah. Justin Johnson is a badass guitar player. I want to have him on the show. Yes. Plus bluegrass. Yeah. Okay. I could keep going a million times with this. I could keep going. No, you don't need an electric guitar for UGS. Okay. So many questions. Friends, we're going to be doing this every 2 weeks. Let me tell you something real quick, though, before we go. I know I talk a lot about guitar, and I know I keep bopping into this other area, right, where we're at today, but I want to, let me please take a moment. Just believe me. If I'm just another voice, another nonsensical voice out there preaching in your ear or saying something, then here's my part, okay? We're sovereign beings. We have truth to guide us. The truth you're going to have to dig hard for, because truth is being suffocated right now by people who don't want the truth to be revealed. This is the preachy part of the program. Go out and find the truth for yourself. There's specifics that you can do. I can't get into it all right now. I just can't. But if you seek it, it will find you. It's looking for you to find it. Okay? We're going into a good place. I truly believe this in the world, friends. So be positive. Be full of joy, be full of love, surround yourself with loved ones, play your friggin' guitar by God. Stop watching the news. Please, please, dear God, stop watching the news. Spend time with family, eat good food, be with your friends, enjoy life, all right? As far as I know, I think we're only here one time. So at least enjoy this time around, okay? That's enough of the preaching. I love you guys so much. We're going to do this every 2 weeks, I'm thinking. At least for right now, that's what we're going to do. Every 2 weeks, we're going to go live, and I'm going to be taking your questions. The other times, I can't take your questions. And what we're doing now is we're not even doing a live bit. We're trying something new. Okay, so just bear with us while we're getting our bearings and checking out things. We're trying to figure out our whole method of doing all, so that we can deliver as much for you, get you the content that you want, do it short form, do it long form, whatever you guys need. I want to be in front of you every day to help you. We're dropping jam tracks on the weekends. ProJamTracks.com is where you can early sign up, because oh baby, when I light this thing up, you guys are going to be like, what is life with the jam tracks? So many different genres, different keys, all the rest. It's coming. ProJamTracks.com. The free course, UGS, YourGuitarStage.com/UGS, the first link below. Friends, what the heck are you doing if you haven't gotten in there? If you're in the first 30 or you're in UGS at all, well, just put 30 if you're in 30 so folks know what I'm talking about. If you're in Pro, say Go Pro so folks know what I'm talking about. It's the real deal. I walk you through it step by step. Money back guarantee, 30 days. If you don't like it, you get the heck out of Dodge. I want happy people in there. I don't want people who are unhappy, so I'm not going to trick you. I just want to teach you how to play the freaking guitar and maybe teach you a life nugget every now and then, okay, for the very little bit that I know. Get in there. Also, a text, 833-744-0154. I'll connect you into the program then if you text to that number. Otherwise, if you're in there already, then just type UGS to that and we'll be buddies, okay? All right, my friends, we're on again tomorrow. I love you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Great questions. You guys rule. See ya.